friends, hello, and welcome to what I've finally been able to sit down and make our video for us, which is our Rainbow Rose Order Initiation video, instructions, and kind of a welcoming in for those of you that are here to do this amazing work alongside of us. So I've been speaking about this, just briefly bringing it up in the past so many shows, and I think the reticence to post this has a little bit of a deeper meaning. So let's just get settled so that I can bring in the initiation information, all about what the Rainbow Rose Order is. If you're called here to watch this show, then chances are you're being called to participate. You'll know because I've talked to some of you offline and you're like, hey, I was already ready to do this a long time ago. And then we kind of stopped doing Sisters for the Sword. So this is a graduation for us Sisters for the Sword friends, soul sisters, and we're kind of moving on up now to doing something that's a little bit more, I don't know, it sounds like we've gotten an upgrade. Sisters for the Sword has gotten an upgrade. So welcome in, get settled. I'm going to first create our little sacred circle by wrapping us all in our love light and light love of the higher realms, higher light beings, inviting in the guides who are overlighting this show, as well as the guides that are overlighting the Rainbow Rose Order. And I will speak about them here, who they are, what they are, and all of that in just a minute. So this initiation is being set up as a solo camp. I'll explain that too in just a second. I haven't done mine yet either, and I'm going to do it tonight. I finally was like, okay, I just need to do this because it's a fun way. The guides are trying to bring in a fun way for us to get indoctrinated into the Rainbow Rose Order. So I set up a corner of my space for this little solo camping session that I'm going to do tonight. Just not doing it outside. There's just too many bugs. But so I've set up this little corner of my studio space like a camp. I wish I could. I need to see about trying to drape something that makes it look more like a tent. But plants wanted to come in, and I've got this little friend who is always around. And then I found this rainbow trout that wants to be a part of this as well. So I think there's a little bit of some background I'm going to give you, as well as I think a healing that needs to come in through some light language. So let me just get situated here. So this is what's being called the Rainbow Rose Order, is a kind of a blending together of two orders. So what I call the Sisters for the Sword, which is also otherwise known as, I saw 3, 4, 5 on the counter, AKA, you've heard it called like Sisterhood of the Rose or whatever. So we're kind of like an offshoot of Sisters of the Rose. It's all this, it's semantics basically, but I like to call mine Sisters for the Sword. It has deeply ingrained lines in Lemuria and the Arthurian Grail lines. This order, this Rainbow Rose Order, also combines bringing in the Divine Masculine. So I told you I wanted to bring in the Divine Masculine. I've looked through my analytics again across all the different platforms, and I really have about a 60-40 split. 60% Divine Feminine and about a 40% Divine Masculine audience. So if my Sisters for the Sword are out there, and the ones I've spoken to are like, yeah, picking up my sword and I'm ready to go, then I'm thinking that I've got Divine Masculine out there who are ready to do the same. This is what do we want to call ourselves? This is a group of souls who are here to do grid working, gatekeeping, and who are dragon guardians. For a while now, I've been sharing about, yeah, I know we need to do the healing. For a while now, I've been sharing about the dragon eggs that I want to work with. We already even got a download in one of our past shows about a little preview about what it is, what that means, what are dragon eggs, and how do we work with them. So I've already gotten the download for that. And the stuff's just, it's making me feel very out of breath just to talk about this. There's two things happening here. I'm going to bring in the information, but there's also a clearing. So let me do the clearing first, because I think the reason I've recorded this show once before and I deleted it because I was kind of like, I didn't really feel like I liked what I recorded. And then Spirit's like, it would have been fine. So there's a little bit of a past life, some stuff coming up where we need to do a little bit of a soul retrieval, so to speak, around, around persecution energies, fear of being found out, fear of being, just all those old stuff that you thought you had dealt with already. Like some of it's coming back. And just kind of being a little niggling in the energy field. And I felt it already just individually, personally, because I was like dragging my feet to release this episode. But now as I connect in with all of you, I'm getting it even stronger. And it feels like right in here, really heavy. It's like you really want to do this, but you may have some past life stuff coming up that has to do with being persecuted for the work that you did. And we don't have to go into all of it individually, like what it all is and all of that. If you're here, you're an advanced practitioner, you know how to work with that. But I do just want to collectively bring in some dragon light language to help you move that through a little bit easier so that we can get to work. Because we do have an assignment this morning. The guides of the order shared with me, like, we do have an assignment they want us to complete before the Lion's Gate. So it's like time's a wasting. So let me go ahead and bring in this light language, and then I think we'll be ready to kind of disseminate the rest of the information that I channeled about this. Let's take a deep breath. All is well. I am safe. I'm divinely guided and cared for at all times. And this is the time. This is the hour to do this work. Gaia is depending on us, our fellow humanity is depending on us. Ndara arreteta. Pikya hayu inye. Shirati turninanya oi or ashira Nyara iahi or unyete kutarate. Shirakatan hara akahate erotu tushni ikerata. Nyara I in urindikesti. Hunyara haikera ay. Ja, onja is urduki kita. Shit, kurt, snekera, arret, gere, turtu, jereteta, reteta, ereteta, orot, Hier hit. Kinko aigere aigere tasu. Shendiara krea arketa. Mira ni nereru. Grakara charakara tatakata. Okay. So those are golden dragons of Lyra. And if you were on Lyra, like with any other planet that, or world that, or place like Lemuria or Avalon, or Avalon wasn't really destroyed, Lemuria or Atlantis, or anywhere like that where you may have lost your footing a little bit, then you're my warrior souls. You're my warrior souls, not mine. This is kind of spirit saying, the spirit of the royal guard of Lyra. Any of you that are part of the royal family of Lyra, my brothers and sisters of Lyra, my brothers and sisters of Lemuria, priests and priestesses. Okay, we can do this, you guys. We've got this. This work is very heavily guarded and protected. I'm going to read to you now a little bit about the Rainbow Rose Order, what it is. If you choose to raise your sword or put on your armor or whatever it is that you see yourself being, and you're going to find out as part of this initiation, and then the guides of the order will give you the opportunity to say yes or no, I want to keep going, or no, I still don't feel like this, or maybe another time, this isn't for me right now. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit here. Rainbow Rose Order is a combination of a Brotherhood of the Rose, and the Sisterhood of the Sword, or Sisters for the Sword. Brotherhood of the Rose, you're my, well, I'll just share this and then you'll know who you are. The guides for our particular group are Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Uther Pendragon, Guinevere, Sir Lancelot. Merlin is also here, although he's a little bit more, he's a guide. He's not necessarily overlighting. The overlighting of the order are these folks here. And then we are the initiates of the order. And it's not just all human beings. So it's not just us human souls. The initiates of the order consist of several hundred multidimensional beings. So we're not very big order, but we're very, very powerful. Very powerful. We don't need a whole slew of us to do this, okay? We've got this. And I consider it a very high honor to have been chosen to lead this particular group on these missions. And I don't take this role lightly at all. I mean, I want to have fun with it, but I understand it's very, very important to our planet and to the organic ascension of all willing hearts and souls. We form a round table of light. So this is a group that works. There's no like top-down kind of approach. We're back to working collectively for the greater good of all. So we have some guiding, just like the Egyptians worked with the pyramids and, other places work with other holy sites. We've been given two. I'm sure others will come in, and I have not explored these at all, but stuff comes down through the pyramids. There's stargates. But we were given the Sistine Chapel and Notre Dame as our kind of sacred sites to kind of take a deeper look at, that there's deeper meaning there for all of us. And this particular Rainbow Rose Order helps and works along the Archangel Michael ley line, from Glastonbury / aka Avalon all the way down to the pyramids of Giza and maybe a little bit further out. And then we work a Grail line, a Lemurian ley line along the Southern Pacific and up the West Coast through Shasta and up into, Telos, thanks. The Telosians are like, hey, don't forget about us. Through Shasta, the Telosians, and up to, up into Canada. There are some quote unquote pledges or things that as an initiate of this order, you kind of agree to as part of your initiation. I'm going to go ahead and put these things in the description of this video. And then you can have them if you want to take them on this solo camp. Pledges of the Rainbow Rose agree to do no harm. Pretty obvious, right? To advance the teachings of the higher realms through a transference of energies and higher knowledge. So it sounds like you all are, this one is, it's the next one too. To pledge to the order your ability to bring in the light and disperse it as guides, and to uphold the tenets with a just and benevolent heart, mind, body, and soul. To respond with love and the highest intentions, and most of all, to maintain the integrity of the work. So to receive the initiation downloads, you're asked to do what they're calling the solo camp. Just mean like pretend, like I'm going to pretend I'm camping by myself, so to speak. I'm just going to call in the guides of the Rainbow Rose Order. I'm just going to ask for my personal and collective initiation. So each one of you is going to get a role to play. I've spoken to some of you offline. Some of you have already kind of know what your role is in this order. None of this, they're saying, is like a secret. We're like a secret club. None of this is necessarily to be shared outwardly with others. So you are going to be a guide. You're going to be giving a role within the order, and you're going to be asked to disperse and use these teachings to work with others in some way. Each one of you is getting your own initiation in that respect. So like I may know, they may show me like who you are in the group. Like you may be a record keeper, you may be a sword wielder. Oh, sword wielder. We did have a sword come up yesterday. I found a sword. You may be a sword wielder. Give me some examples. You may be a crystal guardian. You may be, you may be a dragon mother, or a dragon, or a dragon slayer. Okay, we can go really deep, but I can't go really deep here in this public platform because they've asked me not to. So they're saying this work is on a need-to-know basis only and not to be shared with the general public. Work is done in a sealed container, and all knowledge transferred by the order is subject to be swiped if the initiate is compromised. That's where it got a little kind of what? And so they're basically saying if you, okay, just a representation of Archangel Michael and divine protection just kind of drove by outside my window. But if you decide like, I'm not going to be on this spiritual journey anymore, I don't think, well, maybe, but I'm not going to be on this spiritual journey anymore, or, you know, I don't want to be part of this order anymore. And it feels like you're, I don't know what compromise means, but I think if the guides feel like you're subject to sharing this information outwardly, then they're just going to remove you and or possibly just wipe all the work we've done that you've done as an initiate out of your consciousness. So you'd be like, I can't even remember being an initiate. Those are the things we're agreeing to as part of this work. If there's anything you have to do, you are being asked to absorb the teachings as you can download them, and then you will be given instructions on how to disseminate them outwardly. So they did share with me. So we go into this camp, this solo camp, and we will be given kind of like, what is your individual role in the group? And what is your, I don't like to call it group because it's much more, group makes it sound just very 3D, and it's not. You are being given a role to play in this order and at this round table. You'll know what it is. Together, when and how we come together to talk amongst ourselves has yet to be defined. But you'll know who you are, and I think they will share with me who you are, but there's some things that you don't have to share with me and that I don't need to know or won't be able to know about your own individual role. Because it all goes back to this two-factor authentication where we all don't know everything for security purposes. We all don't know everything about everything that's going on, which is fine. If I didn't feel confident in this, what we're being asked to do, I obviously wouldn't do it. What else do we want to share? Okay, so if you go through the initiation and you decide you want to move forward, that's fine. The future assignments and any other information I need to share about the Rainbow Rose Order, I'm being asked to take offline and do in what they're calling a password protected space. So I'll be making videos for our group. We could possibly be having live get-togethers. It's still that's still a little bit out there, but it'll have to be something where we have like an email list or somewhere where you go to get the assignments and further hang out with our group. So they said they were going to show me what that is and what that space is, because I'm like, okay, I need help with that. I need help with pulling that together, and if it's, where it is or what it is, and what that all looks like. All right, let me see. Is there anything else that you want to share with us for the guides that are here? Okay, so they're saying, no, we did it. It's so simple, right? So your job now, if you choose to accept it, is to go do your solo camp, get your initiation. I would just, somewhere for yourself, maybe start a little, what is it called? Like a grimoire or a shadow book or something. Something special as a talisman for you, as a touchstone for you. And just like I got the sword the other day, I left it downstairs, but I posted in the last video I did on this channel, as well as on my Instagram, I found this, it's just a broken thing off a tree, but it looks exactly like a sword. It's like a piece of wood and then two pieces of wood kind of came off it like that, and that's why I can grip it and use it like a sword. So that's probably my talisman. I probably need to go honor it and actually bring it inside. It's sitting out by some tiger lilies right now. So have fun with this, but feel honored that you've been guided to come here and participate in this community. I just saw 2222 go by on the timer, and I think it's going to be fun to get to see who all my Rainbow Rose Order friends are. So if you identify, just one last, if you identify with like the Brotherhood of the Rose, you're my like Knights Templar in a previous lifetime, or they said you may resonate very strongly with serving under Sir Lancelot, the Knights of the Holy Grail. It's in the so many good chills there. You're going to know if that's you. And it may not be that you are a divine masculine now. So it could be roles reversed. You could be a divine feminine who back then served under Lancelot as a divine masculine. And even now, you could be a divine masculine who served, oh God, so many chills there, yes, who served under Mother Mary, they're saying. Or, because I have a lot of Sisters of Mary here that follow this channel, or you could have been an Avalon priestess or a Lemurian priestess, stone guardian, high council member, something, right? So it's like, anyway. So that is all I have to share. That is all I have to share. If I have to communicate anything more about the Rainbow Rose Order that has to do with logistics, I'll do a short communication video for that. But then at that point, we'll move out. It'll just be to tell everybody where we're moving to logistically, like what's our community space going to look like. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I'm really excited to be doing this work alongside you. I look forward to the work that we're going to be doing, and I'm glad that you're here with me. Take care.